Who do you think is the coolest character in Jujutsu Kaisen? Is a question I got asked by Balls in a Can under this video, and my answer is Gojo, Toji, Sukuna, the big three that can make any wiener hard. Those guys are pretty cool. But for me, the what's your type guy, the man who makes up 70% of the Kyoto student strength, until season 2 Mekamaru came and became like a 60-30-10. But anyway, the man Todo Aoi is the coolest character in the series. The man that really elevated the series for me. Every single fight he's in is a banger, and Yuji being there helps a lot. I love that he's a hand merchant, he gets up close and starts putting fists in ass, big fan of that. Same with Todo, and when the two are together, combined with the Boogie Woogie, a Hollow Purple, Infinite Void, Malevolent Shrine, or even the one who left it all behind, not a single one of them comes close to being as cool as this duo. Also, his theme is called the Man Aoi Todo. That is a sick. So Todo first appeared in season 1 episode 8. Big muscular guy who loves fighting. He walks up to Megumi and Nobara to test them to see if they have what it takes to replace Yuta and the third year students for the Goodwill event. And obviously it's a hard no, from Akari, Yuta, and Kirara to Megumi and Nobara. That is One Punch Man season 1 to season 3. Unless Megumi decides to pull out the big Mahoraga and ruin everyone's stay, just destroyed the whole event, shit on the birthday cake, then they are not coming anywhere close. Now off rip he asks, what kind of women is your type? Rips his shirt off and starts talking about tall women with big butts. Now Megumi opted for a PR answer. I felt some type of way about that answer, or should I say Bigfoot, because what in heaven's name did they do to her feet? Now hearing this, Todo immediately socks him in the face. He surprise suplexes him, and Megumi gets his ass beat. So Todo's first appearance, he's beating the protagonist's friend, and he loves ass. Tall women with big ass. And the next time we see him, he's beating up Yuji at the Goodwill event. He flies in, cuts off their path, everyone gives Yuji a quick pat on the back, says good luck, take care of the monster for us, we're going ahead, left him alone, bare fist with a silverback. And Yuji takes a hit that he fully blocked, and life's not so good, his arms would have flown off if the cursed spirit didn't get in the way. Then he gets his head pounded. Now first time watching JJK, I thought Todo was gonna be this massive asshole older student. Extremely cocky, beating up the younger students, he thinks he's the GOAT, he's really not, and he'll die punching above his weight. But I couldn't be more wrong, because this guy is legitimately the GOAT. And not only that, this man went undefeated throughout the entire series. So Yuji gets back up and says, Jennifer Lawrence makes his pee-pee slightly stiffer. And hearing this, Todo immediately enters a state of euphoria. Now Todo's type question is actually quite deep. It's not just a little goofy thing he likes to do after coming across this video. Good video. He basically explained that the question is pretty broken. You can understand a lot about a person with it. Megumi hesitated with his answer. He's not a straightforward guy. He overthinks. He hides his true self. While Yuji presents himself as he is. Zero filter. Actually, no, never mind, scratch that. I came across this post on Reddit, and this person does make a pretty good point. TLDR, Todo doesn't give a fuck, it's not that deep, he just loves people who like tall women with fat asses. And Reddit guy might be right, because Yuji also hesitated with his answer. Anyway, Takada's a fucking banger. Oh yeah, I completely forgot I have the guidebook, and yeah, his stress is boredom, and Megumi's answer was quite boring. Also, it is cool that Takada does recognize him. So yeah, Todo starts writing his own slice of life series. His best friends with Yuji, they went to the same school, he confesses to Takada, who takes this as an insult it seems.
ごめんなさい.
He gets his confession torn up. She says she's already in love with someone else.
好きな人が俺ってパターンは?
That is unhealthy levels of cope, ungodly amount of cope, so much cope it's flowing out of his eyeballs. Now everyone from the Kyoto school attempts to jump Yuji, but Todo stops them, so the two start fighting, it's a 1v1, and now he's also teaching Yuji. He's no longer just hammering his head in, he's now kinda chill, maybe I was wrong about him, he caught him sniffing glue multiple times, but he didn't take advantage of any of that.
My best friend!
Once he realizes Yuji likes ass, he stops trying to put him in the hospital and just teaches him about cursed energy, helping him understand it better, sharing his knowledge, and this guy does know what he's talking about. He seems a little fucking weird and crazy, he comes off extremely strong, but as a special grade sorcerer myself, he couldn't have explained it better. And now we get to the meaty part where Todo starts to shine and creep in on that GOAT status, making him a super fun character to see in a fight, and my favorite character, aside from Yuji. So Megumi is fighting Kamo, and by the way, how liquid fart is blood manipulation if you're a human being? The technique is super good, it's versatile, but what the fuck does versatile do if you can't even use it? Poor Kamo has to carry blood packs around and he can use his technique like 3 times outside his body. That is just so tragic. Now you can say they can learn reverse curse technique, something that's really hard, but even if they would be able to learn it, it would still be almost impossible to use it freely. They would need to have so much cursed energy, because even someone like Yuta, who has insane amounts of cursed energy, can't just spam reverse curse technique. Choso though, that guy's goated. No hit on Kamo, he does some pretty big things later on, if I recall correctly. Anyway, Hanami appears, Megumi, Kamo, and Inumaki get clapped by her, Maki appears, and with Megumi, they start jumping her, doing a bit of damage. These two are pretty cool in this scene. Until Megumi fumbles and falls face first into a pile of sweaty socks, Cursebot's caught him butt-ass naked, Maki gets caught as well, so Megumi does something he's always wanted to do, he's been praying for this moment, he's fiending for it. Megumi, you son of a bitch, don't you dare do it, the whole school is gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. Maki yelled. It's time to tag out, she says. And then, the 2 goats enter the atmosphere, just falling in from the sky like a fucking airstrike. The music comes in, countermeasure for the main expansion starts playing. I just popped a little boner listening to this part. If you've watched my previous video, you'd know that I gooned to Season 1 OST like it's a full-time job. Even the song in the preview for the next episode goes hard. Anyway, Todo says, "You good to go, my friendo?" The music ramps up, and Yuji puts his guard up, ready to start fisting. Chills. The music goes so fucking hard. What a cool scene. Not much happened, the 2 just fell in from the sky, but god, it does something to me. What a beautiful scene. Great use of music. Shout out Momo for giving them the coordinates. At first I thought she dropped them off, but surely that's not possible. She can barely carry Inumaki and Kamo. If Todo gets on that thing, it's snapping in half like a toothpick. So Todo tells Yuji to land a black flash, or he'll just watch him die. Phenomenal motivational speaker. What can't this man do? Yuji goes in and hits Hanami with the triple kick combo. Hanami's body is fully exposed. He goes for it, but he couldn't quite get it off. Comes back to his corner, has a little discussion with his coach. Todo slaps him a couple times, tells him to lock in, clear your mind. Yuji's mind is cleared. He puts on a song for him and sends him back out on the battlefield. And right after that little conversation and 2 slaps to the face, Yuji hits a black flash. Something that is extremely hard to pull off. Yuji balks Todo for a bit, learn about Black Flash probably right now. They probably landed. Todo says, "You are going to land a Black Flash." I'm sorry, a what? "I will watch you die." And he fucking hits it. Upon meeting Todo, he's just been improving rapidly. His growth shot up like Bitcoin. This man Todo just says words, Yuji hears words, he processes words, and he starts performing miracles. Obviously, his talent as a sorcerer helps him out a lot, but Todo's the one who's unlocking him. Now Hanami turns it up a gear. Amazing scene right here. Hanami pops up behind them, fires out the anal beads, but look at these 2 go. Some clean ass dodges, and they spin around into a perfectly timed attack. Then she undoes her technique, she comes down, the 2 hit her a couple times. Now Hanami's lucky she blocked this, because that was a decapitation waiting to happen. A skull fracture at the very least, her brains would have get mushed to the side. Now Hanami is evolving in the fight, she's starting to have a blast. But that's when the goat Todo chimes in and says, "Don't fucking sweat it. I know what I'm doing."
では俺の術式を解禁する
He tells Yuji to do two things. Don't stop and trust him. Now this is Yuji's type of game. This is his playground. Throw hands and keep pushing forward. This is his wet dream. He's the goddamn grandmaster of not stopping. Now Todo takes a quick little moment to analyze his enemy, giving us a quick little insight on how his massive Irwin-sized ball's brain works. He goes through all of her abilities, and there are a bunch of things Hanami could do. But, using that 530,000 IQ brain of his, there is only one conclusion to this fight.
Victory! なぜなら
This guy is just so fucking cool. He's so stupid and delusional and spits bullshit, but at the same time, he's also really smart. He knows what he's talking about. However, 10 seconds after proclaiming victory, Todo gets caught and sent to his death. First time watching this, I knew something had to go right for Hanami. The good guys were simply doing too well. Until a single clap sound comes in. And all of a sudden, Hanami gets fully penetrated by her own spikes. Boogie Woogie gets introduced, and I was geeked. It is such a simple technique, but it's just so perfect for jumping, and especially for punch-kick merchants. It's just another level of fucking your opponents. As if a 2v1 isn't bad enough, the two can now constantly switch places, so blocking their blows becomes significantly harder. The two run back in, and once Boogie Woogie got implemented into the fight, Hanami got to experience the worst day of her life. Yuji's charging up his attack, he's in front of her. Claps. Hanami quickly turns back to find Yuji, but another clap comes in and now he's behind her. Every single hit is a jump scare. You don't know what's gonna hit you until it hits you. And it's just so perfect for Yuji. Also a really nice combo here. Clean right to the face into a body shot and another right to the face into an elbow from the other side by Yuji. Guaranteed CTE. Hanami was confused before, but now she's on a different planet. Then Todo kicks the back of her knee. Yuji comes in, and everything slows down for a bit. A little pause on the action. We get a little black flash explanation from the record holder himself.
ここは私が
For the most consecutive black flashes, talking about how one becomes mega locked in once they land a black flash and how he's hit 4 in a row. It cuts back, and Yuji lands another black flash. And I have to say, black flash is such a cool fucking thing. It's not like a new concept, crazy new invention or anything, it's basically a critical strike, but man, is it hype when someone uses it, especially when only a handful of people use it in the series. So when it comes, I come. Now Yuji goes in and lands 2 more black flashes, 1 more to tie the record. Now this is the scene that had me jump out of my chair and start clapping and dancing. It tickled me in all the pleasant ways possible. Hanami got hit 4 times with black flashes, total. There's stars circling above her head, so she decides to focus on Yuji as he's the one dealing the most damage right now. But she notices Todo's about to go in for the swap. So this time she reacts immediately to it. Todo claps.
少なの変わっていない
And it was a fucking bait. Hanami got scammed. He explained that he had to clap to activate it. But no. Dear God, watching this for the first time, I had no idea about Jujutsu Kaisen, anime only, I didn't believe in manga. This scene was so incredibly cool. It's not like a super mind-bending twist like holy fucking shit, I just shat my pants, but it is cool. And also because Todo fucking lied in his interview. I thought him revealing his technique was the twist. Hanami got stabbed and he lived. I didn't expect this. I fully expected the fight to be back and forth because Hanami is a part of the Big Four, Disaster Curses, and she was terrorizing the other students. But against Todo and Yuji, she's just been getting fucked from the very beginning all the way to here. So I thought, okay, it's going way too well, so this is where she's going to read them and counter or block whatever. And the tide's gonna start turning a little. But no. She just continues to roll down this hill, accumulating dust and trash and slam into a wall full of shit. So this bait was like up there with first time masturbating kind of feeling. And the music bumps up as Hanami realizes she's been bamboozled. And Yuji swings his fist all the way from another reality. Impatience, the OST, is going crazy. Todo yaps about his technique for a bit, and Yuji lands another black flash. It was at this moment that my ass hair stood up and made me realize that this series was going to be peak. But yeah, that was some hype moments. Even though it's such a simple technique, that little extra element makes it so amazing. Also really love this action sequence right here. Block, block, flips her over, some shit happens, jumping spin kick, and he goes in with the jump kick. Camera zooms in to catch that feet to hand action. Massive impact, flips over his shoulder, and subs in Yuji. And the music is so good, and also the way it's used is so amazing. I really like how the music is used here. The music syncs perfectly. Like over here, Todo's fighting Hanami, and as he flips over, the rhythm, the music note or whatever you call it, the sound drags on here. As he's not fighting. And then he claps, and then it's, it syncs with the... Oh my god. Beautiful. And also this part... Dong. It goes down. It is so satisfying. I will keep saying it, the fights in Season 1 are so good. I swear it's even better than some of the fights in, hot take, Season 2 and 3, even though the animation over there is better, yes. But it doesn't have shit like this as often. It may not be as cinematic, but the way these fights are done is amazing. Now Todo's greatness doesn't stop here. Yuji then hits another black flash, but Hanami is beginning to get used to Boogie Woogie. And then, she pulls out a farm of curse buds. Unavoidable wide range attack. So Todo swaps Hanami and Yuji's places. And he plans to flex his cursed energy, clench his ass real hard and tank it. Which viewers know would not be a very optimal play. But, right as the curse buds are about to connect, he has another delusion. He's back at school. Takada pulls up, they talk for a bit, and he understands it now. He realizes that the curse buds will milk his cursed energy, so he dispels his cursed energy at the very last moment. And this man went through all of this in his head in the span of 0.01 second. This guy's just a goat. His brain is mega wired in. This video might get age restricted for all the absolutely disgusting things he's doing to Hanami. It is a crime what's happening. Then he pulls out the playful cloud, amps it with his cursed energy, and smacks Hanami across the face full force, completely knocking her brain cells loose. Now he did get a little caught off guard here, thinking she's done. But even so, he still manages to dodge her attack. You simply can't touch this guy. So then Hanami activates her trump card, pulls out the domain expansion. Now it would have been a little freaky if she got it off. No one knows what it does, but it's safe to assume that it is going to be extremely tricky. There are a lot of things your eyes are not meant to see in this world, and one of them is Todo in an enemy's domain expansion. He would be fucked. He has nowhere to dodge, he can't exactly swap himself out of there. He has a simple domain, but that's about it. Luckily Gojo pops up, Holo Purple comes in, great music. Now the next time we see Todo is at the baseball game. I have no idea how this shit works, but the students fucking hate Todo. Also, it's worth mentioning that Maki did more damage to Todo with a baseball than Hanami did in their 2-episode fight. Not a single drop of his blood was drawn in the earlier fight. He is just that guy. He is him. Yeah, actually no, he did take quite a bit of damage throughout the whole event. His ass is slightly bruised. But anyway, please continue. Appeared for a bit, popped the fuck off, helped Yuji grow exponentially, according to Gojo, and his 6 eyes never lie. Also, his technique is swapping places. It isn't a damage type or anything, but he's able to utilize it so damn well. All muscle, full brain. No crazy background, he was found under a bridge beating up an older student. Yuki came in, says this guy's goated. And he became a grade 1 sorcerer by clapping. Which he doesn't even use unless he's up against special grade cursed spirits. Now we get a quick little time skip to October 31st. Everyone's having a blast in Shibuya. This guy's hitting one of the most magnificent dance moves I've ever seen in my goddamn life. He's really breaking it down here. 3 purple sperms looking for pools to swim in. But all of a sudden, everyone gets sucked away. Jujutsu sorcerers pull up, Nobito's drunk, Kusakabe and Panda are walking around. Gojo violates Jogo, he puts his asshole in his face. Hanami gets blown up and Gojo expands his domain for 0.2 seconds, but immediately gets full boxed by Kenjaku after. Yuji and Megumi abuse a senior citizen with hemorrhoids. Nanami beats up the femboy. Massive raging boner. Meimei, Uro, Shoko, Yuki, Utaime. Top 5 in that order. Choso beats Yuji in the bathroom. Nobito is still drunk. Toji brutally fucks Dagon, ate him alive, takes a quick toilet break, shut him out, flushes him down, comes back out, and kidnaps Megumi for a little father and son conversation. Jogo waits for Toji to leave, comes in, puts his thumb on Nanami's balls, checks for testicular cancer, finds out it's good, and lets him and Maki leave. Unfortunately, Nobito's covered in alcohol and accidentally catches on fire because of Jogo's presence. He feels tremendous remorse and is extremely sorry for this. Then Jogo puts 10 fingers inside of Yuji, plus 1 from Mimiko and Nanako. Sukuna comes. He tells Mimiko and Nanako to go back to studying and he'll pay for their tuition. The two girls kindly thank him and he gives them the permission to raise their heads and leave. So the two get up and walk away. Kusakabe and Panda are still walking around. This girl's a banger. Unfortunately, she explodes a couple minutes later. Toji is super disappointed to see Megumi. He decides to take his own life. Jogo gets violated once again, tears in my eyeballs. Despite all his kind acts, the world is just a super cruel place. Maharaga gets summoned, shit breaks out, chaos and madness erupt. Sukuna fights him to protect Shibuya. I can't stop laughing at this scene, by the way. It is extremely funny the way Maharaga is. I know it's like deflecting the slashes by punching the air, but the way he's punching and all of a sudden he just fucking explodes like a mosquito getting slapped. It is pretty funny. Still don't know how this plane got here. Inverted penis dude finally dies, thank the Lord. You are my specials. You are my special. Nanami is severely wounded, but he continues to walk around worried about the students. However, he realizes that he should trust his students. So he decides to moonwalk his way out of there, head over to Shoko, where she fully heals him, back to normal. He calls for backup, and heads out on a nice vacation. Then Nobara pulls up, slams resonance on Mahito's clone. Yuji drops a nasty, and I mean a nasty, combo. Extremely satisfying to see. Mahito's clone runs away and down to the station. Nobara realizes it's risky to follow him down there because she doesn't have full information on the situation. What's down there, I don't know. So she runs past that and calls for backup. So Yuji is in a bit of a rough situation. Then Mahito hits a massive black flash on him. Now he's super locked in. Then Yuji gets heavily beaten up. The situation is in a dire state. Colors all washed away. The sky looking extra gray. And Mahito goes for the finishing blow. But then... that's the sound of hope echoing through the station. The man Todo Aoi is here. He walks in with the hard-ass OST and he's walking in slow motion. Dust parts ways, for the goat has arrived. Immediately he starts quoting a poem and goes, holy chills! And look at Mahito's ass thinking he was gonna get the spotlight for hitting a black flash, only for Todo to come in from the left field and completely fucking dunk on him, rubbing his nutsack all over his face. Now I'm gonna be honest, comprehension is low-key my nemesis, especially poems, so first time watching this, I was hyped, I coded my screen white, had no idea what the fuck he was saying. I was reading words on a screen, and those words were goddamn red. All I got was, we are the exception. Meaning they're probably built different or something like that. But after utilizing my brain and doing a bit of thinking critically, this scene just got cooler to the power of 2.5. Basically, the bell is talking about is a symbol of life. You hit it, it makes a sound, it lasts for a bit, and fades away. And the flower stuff is pretty much the same thing. When flowers bloom, they're beautiful, but eventually, like all things, they will fade and die. All things are bound to be destroyed. Destruction is inevitable. However, we are the exception. We are the fucking goats, so this does not apply to them. Same conclusion, but the journey is much more beautiful. I got to see the sunset, the mountains, and dinosaurs before reaching the destination, therefore, it is a lot cooler. It is just a hype moment. Might be the coolest entrance scene in Jujutsu Kaisen, at least my favorite, in the anime. Then the music goes, exactly like how he and Yuji appear to fight Hanami. It is beautiful. Now, very important question here. Season 2 or Season 3's opening, which one is harder? I think visuals wise, Season 2, raw dog Season 3. Season 3 has more things to it, but I just love the tone and colors of the Season 2 opening. That constant red and everyone slow walking out the gate. It is just sick. The song, both are good. I'm leaning slightly more towards specials. It's like a 55 to 45. Overall though, Season 2, the opening, is so perfect. Anyway, Yuji's in the gutter, but Todo, once again, works his magic. Words begin to leave his mouth. He says it's not over. As long as they're alive and still fighting, carrying on the wills of their comrades, their friends are not truly defeated. So Yuji decides to lock in, and Todo goes in on Mahito, and he is just making a clown out of him. Dodges all of his attacks. Mahito tries to get sneaky, but Todo is just too good. You can't catch him with his pants down. You'd find more success trying to cut a tree with a piece of paper. Then he claps, brings in Yuji, full faith in his brother. And dear lord, after the finally removed dimming and ghosting, this scene is so much more beautiful. My eyeballs are slightly burnt, but it is worth it. Then the shirt comes off, and it's over, really, for Mahito. Yuji's back, Black Flash has been landed, Todo came in, had a small window to say a couple things to motivate Yuji, and those words did not go to waste. And he did it while also looking incredibly cool. Most crucial part. Now Todo, despite not being able to damage him, is still incredibly clutch in the fight. He's switching places with objects and throwing Yuji in like a frag grenade, and also just saving him multiple times. It might not have been a certain death situation, but Yuji would be in a whole lot of pain if he wasn't there to clap them around. He was giving him hella shortcuts. They're about to get sandwiched, he throws 2 rocks, clean clapping, 1, 2, bang bang like he's wiping his hands, simple, and they're out. This man is too slippery, he's like a bar of soap covered in soap. Mahito had to cut Yuji off and mainly focus on him. Now Todo gets a little cornered here, so he pulls out this insane looking kick. Even though Mahito would take 0 damage obviously, he'd still go flying, his head would probably fly right off. Now Mahito almost caught him here. He forces him to block with both hands to prevent him from clapping as the third one grows from his body and goes straight for him. However, he claps his ass cheeks, trading places with one of his swords, which are made of transfigured humans, so it's not a part of Mahito. Holy shit. Yeah, if that jump kick can send him flying like a football, that spin kick probably would have just found a way to penetrate his soul and just one-shot him. And then we get to a really boner-inducing scene. Yuji and Todo run up the stairs. He hands Yuji a piece of rock, and I really love the scene of Yuji throwing it. There's just so much weight to it. A normal person's limb would fall off if this hit him. Their heart would age 50 years just seeing his stance here. And bang, the rock flies out, it's moving through space and time. Todo claps, swaps places with it, is soaring through the air, blasting forward like a fighter jet. Go beyond, plus ultra, he says in his mind as he charges up his kick. His kick is fully charged up and he starts thinking of his happy moments. Of course, it's him and Yuji, Mommy Yuki, his lord and savior Takeda, Yuji, 3 sets of asses. Poor Nishimiya Momo gets completely overridden by Yuji, and we also get to see Takeda's reaction to the sequel to his confession. Then we get the same stuff, but this time it's black and red. Todo orgasms, and the cocksen comes in. It is a blessing to the eyeballs. Thank God they updated the uploads. But obviously, fuck-ass Mahito took 0 damage, but now he's also in flow state. Everyone is super pumped. And then More Than Words started playing. What a beautiful timing. After so much fighting, we're really now moving into the end. More Than Words is such a banger ending. The way they erupt from the ground with Mahito's technique going everywhere, going crazy, paired with the music, makes the scene so nice. Now, since I'm sure I'm gonna have to mute it if I play it, I found this amazing cover online. It sounds pretty much like the original. Shout out to the creator. Here we go. Just be by your side. I give you more than words. Mahito's voice actor is so crazy good. Also, Mahito is such a cool, great villain. So the two continue the 2v1. Mahito decapitates himself and have one of them hold off the two, while his actual self uses more transfigured humans, creating the polymorphic soul isomer, these beefy guys. And just look at the goat dodging. He is too smooth with it. Amazing movement. And we get another really cool scene. Everything's in slow motion, Todo's getting ready to clap. Bang, it syncs with the music. He's in the exact same position, but in a different place. It must be so trippy to use this technique, but thank God he has an IQ of 530,000, so he's fine. And once again, this guy just knows exactly what's going on. Mahito's power is a 20-80 split, and the real one is the weaker one, so he sends it over to Yuji so he can hit him a little. Now he did get fully caught here, he was a little lost in the sauce, he was a little lost in his internal monologue, so he got fucking backhanded straight to the face and was sent flying into a building with a body shot. So realizing he underestimated it, he locks in, comes out, one-shots it. Now Yuji is getting a little cooked while Todo's gone, but super quick, he's back, Mahito's about to rip his hair out. This man Todo is such a massive problem, constantly cucking him to the point Mahito decides to gamble and pop his domain expansion. He could have gotten one-shot by Sukuna doing this, but he said fuck it, Todo's too OP. If I don't take him out the fight, I can't win. So Mahito would risk meeting Sukuna just so he can take out the goat. So if you really think about it, Mahito is more scared of Todo than Sukuna. There it is, you heard it here first. Todo is stronger than Sukuna. Sukuna's lucky he hasn't run into this guy, because if he does, that'll be his defeat. Todo's gonna rip him limb from limb, he'll tear him apart. Sukuna's gonna be dazed and confused, shitting his pants when a technique called Boogie Woogie starts terrorizing him. He'll wish he'd never been reincarnated in this era. He'll be praying to be reincarnated into a world where all the women are short and have small asses, just to avoid him. Anyway, Mahito pulls out his 0.2 second domain expansion, and Todo uses his simple domain to protect himself. However, Mahito is a little quicker because of the black flash earlier. The simple domain wasn't quick enough, but Todo says, fuck that, I'm not dying to this shit. Slices his hand off. Yuji gets punched aside. Also, the music in the scene is amazing, the domain pops, the music's building up, it's nice. And he hits another black flash. Now here, he could have been sent flying and woken back up in the presence of God, but this man is just never out of options. He concentrated all of his cursed energy in his stomach to avoid exploding. So Mahito quickly runs back in, his technique is back, the burnt out period is over, and Todo's back is against the wall. He's now fully out of options. He's barely standing up, he can't escape, his hand is gone, what is there to clap? Is what Mahito thinks. A banger-ass song starts blasting, and there he goes again. Todo's hallucinating once more, and the last time this happened, he completely smurfed the fight. And of course, the exact same thing happens here. Takara comes in, starts blessing my eardrums, the two start beating the fuck out of Mahito, and just look at how happy they are. And I just realized something that makes my death even sadder, because now Todo doesn't have a friend to go to the handshake event with. Quite sad, and Takara's gonna miss her dearly. Look at how happy she was to see a girl at one of her events. And just the way she was talking to her, really whispering in her ear, giving her that personal Takara ASMR experience. That definitely got my feeling some type of way. Bring back my Juju stroll, my Juju Sanbo. Anyway, the goat is never truly out of options. He slaps Mahito's hand to activate his technique. Now, I'm pretty sure his scene with Takeda is just Todo hyping himself up before the slap. He already knows what to do. But I like to think he made up this fantasy. He's beating up Maito with Takeda right beside him, and as they defeat him, he's gonna go shake her hand, which helped him come up with the idea to slap Maito's hand and have Yuji come in and cock Sen his ass cheeks. Just like his fight with Hanami when he had to deal with the curse buds. I like to imagine the same thing's happening here. He's in a life or death situation. Takeda enters his mind palace and gives him the idea to slap his hand to escape. Anyway, that 120% potential drawn out by the 0 damage Black Flash earlier came in clutch for the slap, allowing him to survive with nothing more than a slightly fucked up hand. What an astronomical performance. Everyone stand up, start clapping, give him a standing ovation. He's in trouble, but he doesn't need Yuji to come in and tackle Maito, put himself in danger, try to save him. Nope, he got himself out of there with the help of an idol who knows he exists in the world, and that's about it. And he did all this while also giving Yuji the opportunity to land a free hit. But now he's out of juice, and his hand drops. It's now Yuji against Maito, 1-on-1. And Maito is so goddamn tanky. He ate resonance, a barrage of attacks from Yuji, damaging his soul, and 2 more Black Flashes to the soul. And after all that, he's getting a power-up. He transforms into his stronger self. Instant spirit body of distorted killing. He's now 200% tougher, but can't change his body shape, except for certain parts, like his blades. He can still extend them, and he can still use idol transfiguration because his hands are free. Now the music goes fucking crazy in this part of the fight. Yuji goes in to punch him, but Maito is simply too hard. And this is a really cool scene, they're spinning around each other and shit. Yuji dodges the blade, goes in, starts bombarding him with punches, but Maito just stands there and eats it like a bowl of oatmeal. Pretty badass scene. Now Yuji kinda just gets slammed here, he gets pounded to the ground, he's falling through earth, and he realizes he needs Black Flash to kill him. Maito quickly goes in on him, but the Black Flash from earlier has finally caught up, and he begins to crumble. This shot is also incredibly sick, I busted a fat one when Impatience came on.
お互い元気いっぱいだな
Yuji nearly loses half of his face. Then the smoke disperses, and it goes into slow motion as the two stare at each other. Such a beautiful damn scene. The smoke dispersing, and you hear the sound. And the music building that tension, the sound of time ticking. Quick, we gotta go, time's running out. And then we see Yuji charging up the Black Flash. What a cool fucking scene. And Maito starts glazing Yuji a little, saying he feels like Yuji can use Black Flash at will. No one can ever do it, but right now the Yuji that's in front of him, he feels like that guy can pull it off. Aura, hype moment, check. He jumps in, Yuji punches him, but he removes his armor and Yuji's hand kinda slips off or something like that. I'm not too sure what's going on here. The manga, Maito took off his armor before going in so he can bait Yuji to punch that part, and he'll concentrate his cursed energy in the part without armor to avoid dying, and finish him with an uppercut with his right. The anime, at first I thought he removed it so his body becomes thinner, resulting in Yuji miscalculating his reach and just slightly slipping off him, therefore not dealing actual damage. But was his armor really that thick to create that much of a difference? I don't know. Anyway, Divergent Fist came in clutch big time. Maito's about to shoot his blade at Yuji. But that is when the fucking goat rises back up. Even the sun pulled up, right behind him, showing support, there to witness this glorious, monumental moment. He goes, "You stupid worm. I do not need my hands to clap to activate my technique. I can activate it even without my hands." And he claps. Maito immediately shits his pants and attacks behind him, expecting the swap. But this man pulled off a generational lie. Another fantastic, flawless bait, perfectly executed, and Maito looking like Hanami. He is confused, standing there with his pants drenched in piss. And Yuji delivers the final black flash to seal the deal, the final nail in the coffin. Mahito gets blasted to the sky while also clipping the edge of the hole they're in. This was such a satisfying black flash. But yeah, this man Todo appeared with one hand, couldn't even fight, no technique, and was still a massive factor in allowing Yuji to land the killing blow. If that doesn't make him the GOAT, I don't know what will. Such a banger fight, easily my favorite fight in the series. Sendai Colony was cool, but it didn't have Todo. Season 1, Yuji and Todo versus Hanami, sick fight, probably still below Yuji and Nobara versus Eso and Ketchizu though, finale. Season 2, easily Yuji, Nobara, Todo versus Mahito. Anyway, I just wanted to glaze Todo and yap about some of my favorite fights in Jujutsu Kaisen. If you've made it this far, really appreciate it. Also, I've been really getting into collecting anime resin statues, and my god is it expensive. Anyway, that's it. Bye bye.